Hey, it's Chris Doherty, Doherty Properties, and I want to come to you this week to talk about where you should be investing if you want to be a real estate investor. Because I get calls all the time. I was with a client this weekend, and the basic questions come up. And I know it can be hard to make decisions and confusing sometimes, but it was basically, where should I be investing? What city or what town should I be investing in? And should it be here in Massachusetts where I live? Should I invest in Florida? Should I invest overseas? Where should I be making my investment purchase? Okay. So I want to just walk you through how you should make this decision to make it very easy for you, explain why you should do it that way, and then give you the steps that you need to make sure you're making the right move, if that makes sense. Okay. The first thing that you have to understand, for the most part, if you are an investor in real estate for other people, it usually is multifamily housing. And what do I mean by multifamily housing? It's usually not a single family home or a condo. It is usually a 2, 3, or 4 bedroom home. Okay. And usually you'll find it's easier to get a 4 bedroom to make the numbers work than a 3 or a 2 in this market. But at the end of the day, it could be a single, but it's not likely. But if you really want to grow a portfolio, it's going to be a 2, 3, or 4 bedroom, if that makes sense. Okay. The second thing that you have to understand is that these multi-family homes, where there's more than single families, for the most part, tend to be in urban areas in the city. So if you're in Massachusetts or you're in New Hampshire and you're watching this video, or wherever you are in the country or the world watching this, that you want to go to the urban area that is closest to where you live. Okay. So I'm going to give you some examples. If you live in Tewksbury and you're trying to decide where should I be an investor to buy multifamilies, the answer would be Lowell. Okay. If you live in Amherst, Massachusetts, and you're trying to decide where should I be investing my money for a multifamily, the answer would be Springfield, not Lowell. If you are living out in the greater Worcester area in any of those towns or communities, where would you buy? The answer would be Worcester. Okay. If you live in the surrounding towns of Haverhill or Lawrence, you go to the places closest to you. Now, sometimes you're going to have a city that might be like, let's use Haverhill and Lawrence. They're not that far apart. You could pick either of those if they're close to you. Why do you want to do that? Why go close to you? Why not go to Florida? Why not go to Texas? Why not go to the Caribbean? And the answer is because you want to have an asset that you can access if you need to. You can see what's happening with it. You have a sense of what that market is really like. You can get a better feel for what the value of that property will be. You'll have a better understanding of the people that are going to be there, the jobs that are there, the capability to pay, all of that. But more than that, when you get your service providers, your plumber, your electrician, your landscaper, all the people that are going to help you when you get a multifamily, the snow plow, if you're in Mass and New Hampshire, you need to have snow removal, then it's much easier to do that in a place that is close to you. The person that cuts your grass, well, they can cut that grass too. The person that plows your driveway, well, they could plow that property too. And you can drive by it if there's a problem. Okay. So to make this very easy for you, your opportunity, wherever you are, wherever you're listening, is in your backyard. You don't have to go out to the world to try to find it. Your opportunity is in the place that's closest to you. Now, I know there are some of you that are saying, oh, I want an Airbnb. I want to live in Florida in half time. That's different. This is for the bread and butter person that wants to start investing, trying to figure out how to make this work, to give you some real, honest, and easy advice. Go to the place that's closest to you. So I'm in Lowell, Massachusetts. If you live in Tewksbury, if you live in Drake, if you live in Chelmsford, if you live in Tingsboro, if you live in Billerica, any of these towns, Groton, Dunstable, Westford, and you're saying, where should I buy a multi? I want to invest. The answer is Lowell. It's the closest to you. Okay. Now, once we make this decision of, okay, I know that in order to develop an investor portfolio, that I'm going to have to likely be in an urban area. Now I'm going to go to the one that's closest to me. Now here's the next question. Well, over the weekend, I spent a lot of time with a client who was newer, wanting to buy multifamilies. Well, should I be in Lowell? Should I be in Worcester? Should I be in Lawrence? Should I be in Boston? Should I be in... And my answer was what I just gave to you. Go to the place that's closest to you. And then the most important thing, no matter where you are, is do the numbers work. Do the numbers work. Once you become an investor, and you'll find a lot of successful investors, they tend to pick a market because they get to know it. They feel good about it. They get used to dealing with the community leadership, the government. They get familiar with the rents, the flow of traffic. They get their team set up there. So you tend to find that a lot of investors tend to gravitate into smaller areas for the most part. But then once we make this decision, we have to make sure these numbers work, okay? And what do I mean by that? We call this a cap rate analysis. But to break it down so simply for you, it's this. One, when we buy that 2-family or 3-family or 4, we have to decide how much are we going to get in rent. Okay. If it's a 2-family, we can look and say, all right, I'm looking at this 2-family. It looks good. What does Zillow say the rent estimate is? What is apartments.com showing for similar properties? What is rent.com showing for properties? There's going to be a range here. Like if I drop you in Manhattan, you're not going to get a 2-bedroom for $2,000 a month. It just isn't ever going to happen. But if I drop you in Lowell, Massachusetts, you can get a 2-bedroom for $2,000 a month. But you have to get close to the numbers. And that's why I'm here. And that's why my company's here. We can help you decide and tell you what those rents are likely to be. Once you say, okay, I get a 2-family, 2-bedroom, I can get 2,000 and 2,000, $4,000 a month. All right, what's it going to cost me? What's this asset going to cost me? So I want this 2-family in Lowell, Massachusetts. I'm getting $4,000 a month. Should I buy it? All right, now what's mortgage? What's interest? What's taxes? What's insurance? Then what are the expenses to carry the place? Snow removal, landscaping, electrical, water bills, okay? All of the things. Then beyond that, what type of improvements am I going to have to put money aside for capital improvements? If I got to fix the roof, the siding, the fence, okay? Anything that you need to do, plus a reserve. What if something happens? I want to put a certain percentage, 10% of the money every month, so I'm starting to accrue so I don't get hit with a big bill, okay? And then what if one of the units is empty for a couple of months? What if it only sits and I can't rent it for 3 months, okay? Vacancy rate. Once you build this in, you come to a decision that's not based on the head. It's not based, do I love this property? It's not based, do I like this location? It's not based that this is cute and it's got nice little shrubs. No, it's just the numbers. Do they work? When I take the 4,000 and I take the cost and then all the expenses, do I have money left over? And if the answer is yes, how much? Okay. Now, this is the decision that every investor has to make, and it's different for everybody. How much? How much money do you want to make? What's your requirement? What percentage return on the investment do you want? Okay. What's your cap rate return? What's the return on investment that you want? Okay. And that's different for everybody. You'll get some investors that are like, hey, it carries, and this market has been harder because rates are higher. Hey, it carries. I think rates will go down. I'll buy it. You get some people that say, hey, I want a 6% return, a 7%, an 8%. I teach you how to do that on another video, but to how to analyze in depth. But the answer is simple. Once you know how much the money is coming in and how much money expenses are going out, you have an amount of money left over. And you can't lie about these numbers to yourself to make yourself feel better. I'm not going to put in landscaping. I'm not going to put in snow removal. I'm not going to put in the utilities because you want the property. You just build out the model. And if you make money and it's a return that you're satisfied with, you make the offer and you buy the property. Okay? I'm here to help. My company is here to help. That's what we do. We place thousands of people, tenants, into apartments every year. We help people start with one multi and grow, okay, in different markets all over Massachusetts and New Hampshire. But the decision that you have to make is, do you want to be an investor? Then on the location where you're willing to grow, on the product that you're going to have to buy, and then you got to make sure the numbers work. I hope that helps. I look forward to seeing you soon. That's the basics if you're thinking about buying an investment property. Talk to you in the weeks ahead.